Miller's a good lump.
Because he was injecting steroids.
Yeah. Well, boxing skill-wise, he was never really there, didn't it? I think it was his size.
I just think Miller's been a hype job, and it's been about his size in the past.
And what we'd like to happen.
And I want Ruiz to win.
Bakole is dangerous and strong.
If Anderson wins, he takes another step up. I think if Bakole wins, he takes like 2 steps up, if you know what I mean.
Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the undercard of the Bud Crawford versus Israel Madrimov fight. So I think the first fight we can look at is Andy Ruiz Jr. and Jarrell Miller. What are your thoughts on this, Simon? Interesting matchup.
It's quite an interesting fight, this one.
Two battle of the super fit lightweight heavyweights. I think both of these nearly qualify as super heavyweights, don't they?
Yeah, they're about £300 each, aren't they?
We got to wait till their last fight. But they're similar age. Ruiz is 34 and Miller is 36. Similar height, 188, 6'2" for Ruiz, 6'4", 193, so he's a bit bigger. Reach advantages for Miller as well. He's 78 inches as opposed to 74, so 198 centimeters versus 188. They're both orthodox. Ruiz has had 35 fights with 2 losses. I think the losses were to, obviously, AJ's the rematch and Joe Parker earlier on in his position. And then Miller has lost now to Daniel Dubois, which is a really good performance by Daniel Dubois. And obviously he was out of the game for a little while, which we won't go into too much for cheating.
Because he was injecting steroids.
And he wasn't quite the same beast afterwards. What are your thoughts on this? It's an interesting matchup because I think the skill level is with Ruiz Jr. But Miller is quite tough. Well, he was quite tough.
Miller's
and he's got a big punch.
He wasn't really prepared. He was prepared for Dubois because it was short notice fight. Look, Miller's going to...
He's going to say that.
Not just that, he's going to walk forward constantly. Andy Ruiz, he has got good boxing skills, Andy Ruiz, you know.
He's got good hands, good power.
He's got fast hands for the size of him.
He can put combinations together.
I think he's going to be in reasonable shape as well, to be fair.
Well, I was going to look up what he looks like if there's a...
And the thing is this is the last chance for Andy Ruiz, I think.
He's got to put on a performance, isn't it, to get back into the conversation.
He's 34 years of age now as well. You know, yes, he's been a world champion by beating Anthony Joshua. His career kind of... I don't know whether there was a lot of talk that he kind of priced himself out of a lot of fights after that. Because I think he thought he was a bit more value than he was worth. You know, there was talk about Tyson Fury, but he wanted, according to Frank Warren, 20 million or something. If he wins this, he's going to be one of them. I'm going to call him Saudi heavyweight now. He's going to be one of them Saudi heavyweights, and he'll be on them heavyweight cards in Saudi. And this is what this fight is. If you win this,
I think if he fights properly, he's potentially good enough to be that. Miller already is on that, isn't he? So I think Ruiz this is his first one on a Saudi card, Riyadh season card. So yeah, I think it gets him into that conversation. I think he gets through this, then him and our man Caballel be a good fight.
Yeah.
Or Joseph Parker again. Probably not Joseph Parker beat him, but no, I don't think that
like
makes
there's
sense.
so many heavyweight fights you can have now. It's, you know, you could stick them all in a hat.
Or Dubois again, in it. Well, depending
Just
on how he gets on in September.
stick them all in a hat and pluck them out, and you've got a great fight.
Yeah. Well, I think he's a good fight for any of them in that higher up
He's
range.
a bloody nightmare for all of them, to be honest. He is a real nightmare.
Because he is robust and he's got really fast hands. Yeah.
really fast
which are
hands.
unnaturally, well, the problem is you got Usyk, but if you take him out the equation, he's unnaturally fast hands for that size of a person. Yeah, I was going to check his weights, aren't I? Go on. Carry on talking. I'll go and
Miller, I'm just wondering how much Miller's got left. And I think that's the question, is how much has Miller got left? If he's done a really solid... Miller is always going to be Miller. He's huge. Mm-hmm. He's going to walk forward. He's going to wear you down. He's not going to let you breathe. I just, like I say, I don't know. I just don't think he's got... I don't think he's as good as he ever thought he was, Miller, because he's never had... Who were his massive wins against? He hasn't got any, really, has he? Thing is he had it there.
Jarrell, I said Jarrell the last time. Jarrell Miller, I meant to say.
He had it there, didn't he, for the AJ fight? They could have made him a superstar. But, it is what it is. I just think Andy Ruiz is going to be too quick for him.
Yeah, I think he's too skillful for him.
Yeah.
I think Ruiz is the better boxer out the two. I think obviously Miller has power, and if you catch somebody, and he's got the size, but I think Dubois showed, Dubois was a better boxer than he was as well.
Yeah, I just think...
So if you can cope with his physical size, but if you think about it, Ruiz was about just under 270.
I think Ruiz will want it more as well,
Yeah. And Miller's about he's been more, but I think he's around about 280, isn't it? Or a bit more than 280. So he's a big lump. But, it's not that much difference from Ruiz. So I think Ruiz physically and strength-wise and stuff can cope. Yeah, but Ruiz's losses ain't to bad people, isn't it? So I think at that point when I think he fought...
it was a close one against Joe Parker as well.
Yeah. And AJ frustrated him with a jab and kept him on the outside. And obviously he had his performance against him.
And that's how you beat Ruiz.
It's the long jab.
And the thing is
and I don't think Miller's that kind of boxer.
No, and I think Miller plays right into Ruiz's hands.
He's come forward. It's basically what AJ did in the first one. He come forward and he gets on.
What Ruiz got he's got a fantastic 1-2.
Yeah.
Ruiz.
And it's really, really fast.
Yeah.
And he's accurate with his punches as well.
And he's got a bit of zip.
Yeah. He's got the power. He's got the size.
And I just
his
think...
His timing is good as well.
I think this is a good fight for Ruiz.
Miller's a good lump, and he was. But I think Ruiz, if it's proper Ruiz and he fights properly, trains properly, gets himself in good shape, I think it's a fight for him to make a statement and get back in that conversation.
Yeah, definitely. I just think Miller's been a hype job, and it's been about his size in the past. Because, like I say, if you look at, he hasn't fought anyone of massive note,
boxing
has he?
skill-wise, he was never really there, didn't it? I think it was his size and his come forward, the pressure and the
don't get me wrong. Like you say, if
he catches you,
you are in trouble, and he's.
But I think when you've got skillful boxers, that they can comfortably outbox him.
Yeah.
And when as long as they're not physically, because physically Dubois was good. He could cope with the pushing around and things, and he was pushing back. Then his skill level rose
and
to
I don't think
and I think Ruiz is the same.
Yeah, I think
obviously there's a height and a reach thing, but I think
and Miller
he's used to fighting people bigger than himself.
What Miller did against Dubois is he walked him down, but after like round 7-8, he just walked him down. He didn't throw punches while he was walking him down.
Just walking down.
He was just walking him down. He was like a bloody big mattress coming towards you.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just think Ruiz's 1-2s will just pick him off.
Ruiz has better boxing. Ruiz has better boxing IQ.
Yeah,
better skills.
I think Ruiz will stop him.
I think he's a robust unit as well. I think it'll be a stoppage of points, I think, for Ruiz.
Stop it.
Should we make our predictions on that note then? And what we'd like to happen?
And I want Ruiz to win.
Yeah, well, I want Ruiz to win, however he wins.
Yeah,
knockouts would be good.
I want Ruiz to win.
To stop him would be good.
But what I will say, because Miller's usually... He is good at selling a fight because he's
He's entertaining. He is entertaining both in and out the ring. He's quite entertaining because he's got the potential to upset the apple cart.
Nearly had to put a bleep in then. But he's been quite respectful with Ruiz, to be fair. So, how long that'll last.
We'll see.
But he has been in the press conferences up to it. He has been respectful.
I think on the Saudi ones, they have to be a little bit because they don't want to be kicked out the club. So they're a little bit more restrained.
No.
Go on then. What do you think you should go first this time?
I will go for Ruiz knockout round 10.
Okay. That's what I was going to say, but I'm going to go now Ruiz stoppage by round 9. So just to cut all the other rounds off. But I think it'll be quite an interesting fight. I think it'll be quite good. I think it'll be good to see.
I think it'll show off Andy Ruiz's skills. Let's see what he's got left. And like I say, whoever wins, but I think if Ruiz wins, he does get. If he doesn't price himself out,
I think he should be. He
can get some big fights.
Some big fights there.
Because I think there's going to be another big heavyweight Saudi thing again, like there was last time when it was all. I think there's going to be another heavyweight card
to be, and the interest in heavyweights is obviously the highest. And then if Miller wins, then he's back in a little bit of the game thing
I really
as well.
Hope he doesn't.
But I think Ruiz would be the one to get because I think it's nice to watch his boxing skill. He's got some. He's a good boxer. So there we go on that. So let us know what you think on that one.
Come on, you Andy Ruiz Jr. fans.
The other heavyweight fight on the undercard is Jared Anderson versus, I think it's Martin Bakole.
Yeah.
This is an interesting fight because I think this is a one, basically, they picked an opponent because Bakole is dangerous and strong. I think, and he's only lost once. So I think this is a proper test for Anderson to say, all right, you've had all your warm-up fights. Are you actually something or are you not something? Because Anderson's 24, Bakole's 31. They're about the similar height, 6'4", and for Anderson 193 and 6'3", 191 for Bakole. Haven't got reach for Bakole, but it's like 199, 78.3 inches for Anderson, and they both fight orthodox. They both got big KO percentages, 88 for Anderson and 75% for Bakole. About similar level of fights, 17 fights and 21. And according to his trainer, he's sparked out Usyk, he's sparked out AJ and Dubois as well, I think.
Martin Bakole
in sparring is the greatest heavyweight in the world.
Everyone out.
Yeah. And I think even with
he's a very, very avoided fighter.
Yeah. He's a tough unit.
I think he's fought a lot over in British soils, I think, if I remember rightly. Yeah. Most of his, all his fights have been in, well, not all of them.
Just bring it up. Where do I put it?
Because his last fight was last October in Riyadh against Carlos Takam, and he knocked him out in round 4. I do remember that now, good wins against Tony Yoka, Kevin Johnson.
They put his height different on here. Maybe we got his height wrong on there. What did I just say?
Got knocked out by Michael
He's
Hunter.
saying 6'3", and the other one is saying he's 6'6". That's a bit of a difference.
I'll tell you how tall he is. He is 6'6".
I think his only loss is to Michael Hunter, isn't it?
Yeah,
Hunter's a good boxer.
Yeah. Massive test for Anderson, this. Real step up in class. Most probably the toughest fight he's ever had on paper.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to bring up his fight. Well, actually, I'm going to have to close it. I'll bring up his fights after. Yeah,
definitely his toughest fight on paper.
If you go on Bakole, because he's taken out, like you said, he knocked out Takam. He's had other good fights as well, isn't it? The Polish guy.
Mariusz Wach.
Ihor Shevardzutsky. I hope I said that correctly. Tony Yoka. Yeah, he had a good win against a majority decision. And then Osamuna, Kuzmin.
And like you say,
he's got quite a good...
He's called out every heavyweight boxer in the world as well.
And he is quite avoided. So he's a dangerous
Yeah, he
opponent.
is. And he'll be right up for this, you know.
Yeah. I think this may be... So it's an interesting... Well, it's good to see that he's got to step up. He's got to show now, because obviously Anderson's resume is not as good as that. But he's less fights as well, so it's coming up.
No, I think Anderson's had 17 fights, hasn't he?
Yeah. But I mean, in the quality
Yeah.
of fighters in the last... they're not as at this level. This is, I think, probably the best
This is,
fighter.
like I say, this is a huge step up for him.
Yeah.
But
So it's an interesting contest.
It's time to step up.
Yeah.
Well,
he's there now, and he's 17. He's warmed up enough.
Well, the thing is the American market's open for a heavyweight, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and they need a heavyweight. There ain't many coming through. The ones that have
They need a good young heavyweight coming through who can do. So he's like 20, what did I say, 4?
Yeah, 24.
Don't like his A-list, though. The real big baby. The hell did they go with big babies?
Wow.
Jarrell Miller's big baby, isn't he?
The real big.
I thought that was a joke, but like, that's what it comes up as.
Okay. I think Bakole's just going to go for a knockout, and it's what he usually does. Rough, bully him. He has got some fair good boxing skills, to be fair, though. But I think he does rely on his power.
It's a physicality.
Yeah.
Bakole's, isn't it?
Anderson, he's got quite a good boxing skills, to be fair.
It's whether he can cope with the pressure and the thing of the size
but if
and the
he
bullying,
wants
because
to,
he can't bully.
if he wants to take that next step,
he has to, because that's what
yeah.
people are going to be like. They're a
He's-
level
you know,
above.
he's got to. Thing is Bakole wins this. He kind. I think if Bakole does win this,
He's going to be good. He's a tough fight for any of those.
If Anderson wins, he takes another step up. I think if Bakole wins, he takes like 2 steps up, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'd say he'd be in that conversation like Ruiz then.
Yeah,
in that sort of level of fighters you're going to have to go at.
Whereas Anderson, I think, it's a step up, but it's only a little step up. But I think if Bakole wins...
Yeah, Anderson, it's the next step on his ladder, and he has to fight somebody like this.
And I think Bakole, because he's got such a mouth on him as well, you're going to hear about it.
Yeah.
So it is interesting.
I think it's a good matchup. I think, and it's a dangerous matchup for Anderson, but it's a good matchup. Obviously for both of them, but Bakole's fought, good fighters before, so dangerous fighters. So I think it's the chance for Anderson to show, I am the real deal, or potentially a real deal. And for Bakole, it's like you said, it puts him into the limelight again, because then it's harder for people to avoid him when they go, wait a minute, I took care of him. It's
like I say, I think he is an avoided fighter, Bakole, especially on British soil.
Yeah. Well, I think he's all together, because he's too dangerous to just have a fight with. Unless he had a belt, then you might go for it. It's worth the risk. But he doesn't, so then you're... But he's a good measure of where our man Anderson is, I think. Is he actually, capable? Because I don't think he's had anybody like that, really.
Well, that I didn't know.
Which?
He's Congolese professional boxer. He's the younger brother of former cruiserweight world champion Olunga Makabu, the one that Tony Bellew beat for the WBC.
Yeah.
I didn't
I was trying to work
that.
out his name, because I'm thinking, I thought there's a...
yeah, I didn't realise
there's a fighter who looks similar.
Why didn't I realise that? Very unlike me to not know something like that.
Yeah. I would have expected to come up with...
In January 2004,
He lives in Scotland.
Yeah,
in Scotland.
I know. He, like I say,
He's from the
in
Congo.
He's in the
Republic of
UK
Congo.
now.
And Anderson's US, obviously. From, where is he? It's in Houston. Born in Ohio. Toledo, Ohio. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight, this. Will it be a good fight? Yeah, it will be a good fight, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup. I think it's a good, even matchup. From Bakole is a good fighter. Tough fighter.
Hard to pick a winner.
Yeah. It's whether Anderson's the real deal. Does he raise his level now?
Your Americans are going to think it's going to be quite an easy fight.
And
for him, you're not. for him.
Well, if it's an easy fight for him, then he is really the real deal. He's.
But I don't think.
I think it's going to be a tough getting to points contest.
Yeah.
I don't.
Is that what you think? Is it? Obviously, you're wrong.
Well, if I'm basing it on Anderson winning, I think it's.
Just write down our predictions.
Well, I'm going to two ways in it. So what do you think? If Anderson wins, I think it's hard to get Bakole out of there because he's a big, huge lump. I mean, it has been done, but I think it's more with headbutts and other things. So I think it'd be a good opportunity for him because this is going to be. He hasn't done 12 rounds, I don't think, before. This should be 12 rounds, shouldn't it? Or boxing.
Sure,
is it going to be 10 again? Oh no, it's 10 rounds. So I think, it'd be a good. Although he has got 15 KOs in 17, and Bakole's got good KO percentage as well. Really, if you went on percentages, it should be a KO one way or the other. I think if Bakole wins, it's going to be by KO, by stoppage. I think if Bakole wins. If Anderson wins, I think it's going to be on points. Sitting on the fence. Go on. All right, you
want me to go
It's my
first?
turn. Yeah, go on.
I'll go for. Is Anderson a hype job?
That's the question, isn't it?
Is Bakole a hype job?
I don't think Bakole's a hype job. I think Anderson, we don't know.
And do you know what? This is one of them where we could get it completely wrong.
Yeah.
And you guys in the comments, let us know I am really interested to know what you think. I'll go for an Anderson knockout round 7.
Okay. I'm going to go then for Bakole KO round. How many rounds do I think he's going to go? Round 4. I want to go the other way.
Yeah.
I think Bakole steamrolled.
I was like between 4 and 7. I don't think it's going to.
Yeah. Well, I think if Bakole wins, it's going to be
basically what that means, because we're always wrong, is it's a dull point victory.
Yeah. Let us know what you think on that.
Yeah.
The problem is we don't know how good Anderson is at this level because he hasn't fought at this level. Whereas Bakole is the greatest fighter in the world.
That's why I like it. I like these step-up fights. It shows you where... And it's a step up for both of them on that fringe.
What do we want to happen? See, the thing is this, I don't mind either of them. I don't have favouring to either side, so I'm not sure what I'd want to change from.
I'd like to see another American heavyweight come out. As much as, I'm always going to support the British. It makes it exciting when a gobby American comes out, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I think he's the younger one, so it'd be nice to have him in the mix of that thing and go along. So,
until he gets put in with someone like Caballel or something like that.
They realise there's levels to this game.
But no, like I said, he's a young lad.
He's a good boxer.
He's got to work through these.
But I think he's got to show now. He's at the age and thing to. He's had enough fights. I think his age is on his side to step through to do something.
Yeah, but it's like the Boar, innit? Don't be scared of a loss. You can always come back.
Yeah.
I don't
think the loss does him that much damage.
No.
He can come back.
But
I think it's
in
for
America.
Job,
it does. Yeah. I think it does. I think a loss, because he's an American heavyweight, possibly the next big heavyweight.
It's a bit of
a
pressure.
Loss. That's it. It's all over. I think then.
I think from a marketing point of view, it does. From a boxing point of view, for us, it wouldn't be so much. I think, but because they need him to win and well, and then
we'll see.
I think he's got the opportunity to make a statement. So it's whether he can make it or not. But Bakole is but I respect the fact that he's stepped up to fighting somebody like Bakole, who's
it's going to be a good event, this, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good fight. It's a good match. Both of those, I think both the heavyweight fights are really interesting.
The whole card's pretty good, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, we're disappointed. Tim
Ortiz
Zhu
and Tim Zhu.
didn't happen.
I think if it
but
had that in it, it's like the best card
mate.
of all time. Only one of the best of all time. It's superb. But I think even without that, it's still pretty damn good.
Because when I seen the Zhu Ortiz fight, that really got
But
me
we've
excited.
said, and that was the one we were like, that's better than the main fight.
Really did get me excited, that fight.
Unfortunately, your man is injured, so hopefully we will get to see that at some other point.
But I could. There could be a big Australian show soon because they've got enough big Australians now to go and have a big show in Australia.
Yeah.
Because I heard Shakur saying yesterday that if Kambosos has been saying a few things and he'd like to go and shut him up.
Wait, that Kambosos gets the big fight.
Yeah, but if you think like the Tim Zhu over in Australia, Kambosos, Liam Poirot,
Not Poirot.
Poirot,
the Belgium detective.
some big fights over that can be had in Australia now.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
So let us know what you think. We've given our predictions. Like, subscribe, and all the usual goodness. And we will see you in part 2 of the undercard at some point. See you in the next one. Thank you.